Hey, howdy and hello, folks. Welcome back into T1A. We are going to do something that we haven't done yet, a 1 QB rookie mock. Let's go.
Welcome in, guys. Like Tony said, we're doing a 1 QB mock today. I mean, this is just going to hurt. Can't remember the last time I even did one of these, even though we do one, at least one every year. We're in an old school league like that. But yeah, let's see where this gets us. I do believe we haven't even decided what do you want to do on first pick here? You want honors, bud?
No, go ahead.
I'll take the honors. Give me Bijan.
Oh, big shocker.
Yeah, Bijan's going to be the number one pick in all your rookie drafts, whether it's 1 QB, 2 QB, 3 QB. I'm kidding. But anyway, in your standard rookie drafts, Bijan is going to be the number one overall pick. He's just an elite talent, boys. Don't overthink it. Just go snag him up.
And I think with this one kind of breaking what people think I'm going to go for, it's going to be JSN. Watching some more film, double checking myself. JSN looks like he's going to be the easy to step in, 2 targets right away and produce for fantasy. And you're going to normally need that in a 1 QB league. Safe bet it's going to be JSN.
Yeah, I think he's the guy you plug in fucking day one. Wide receiver 2 potential numbers. He did show at Ohio State that he has some outside capability. It just wasn't really where they needed him to play. All right, so let's see here. The 3 pick. And I think I'm probably going to freak everybody out on this one too, because I am not going to go Jahmyr Gibbs. I am going to go Quentin Johnston. Here's the reason I'm going to go Quentin Johnston. Look, I know he's probably not the most polished or the best wide receiver in this class. I get that. That's JSN. But if we're going to start talking about picking between Quentin Johnston and Jordan Addison, and then, people are starting to sneak Zay Flowers in there, you know what? I'm going to take the dude who is 6'3", 200 plus pounds, and yak monster. I'm going to take that guy for instant production. Yeah, he's probably going to take a little bit of time to develop, but so did Justin Jefferson. Remember, it took him 6 weeks to figure his shit out. People were dropping him in redraft leagues. Quentin Johnston, I feel like he has the biggest upside of the wide receivers outside of JSN. I mean, he's in his own shit there, but give me QJ.
All right. Well, that just makes it easy for me. Going to go a little bit chalk here. Gibbs, definitely see a lot of big play potential in Gibbs as well. A lot of PPR, half PPR value in his receiving ability, and he's fast enough he could take one to the house at any time.
Oh, yeah. That fucking 4.38 speed or whatever the hell it was. 4.39. How about that? It was actually 4.39.
4.34.
Either way.
There we go. You're all
I like
1.5, but
I like Gibbs on that there. His between the tackle stuff kind of bothers me a little bit. You don't really know how he's going to handle that in the NFL. I hope he ends up in a good spot because that 199-pound frame could be trouble. Well, this is easy then for me because it just drops right into the third best wide receiver in my rankings, and that's Jordan Addison. Kid is a dog. Guy can run routes with the best of them. He's got great sticky hands. He can catch the contested passes. His downfall, though, is his size, and he's going to get knocked for that. He is short, and he is underweight at, 171 pounds or something like that?
178.
Yeah, 178. I mean, that is an NFL player. But you can't deny the fact that the guy is a good wide receiver, and in today's NFL, maybe size doesn't matter as much as we want to make it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see. Time will tell on that. I mean, yes, we've seen the proof with Devonta Smith, but he's probably an outlier. I mean, other guys that are looking at that weight, you're looking at Tutu Atwell, your guy Wandale, Rondale Moore as well. Like, they're smaller, they're light. Is the featherweight going to take place as a new staple in the NFL?
I mean, you gotta pile on to Addison too, though. Like, he produced. Even at USC when he was hurt, he was still one of the best players on the field when he was hurt. And at Pitt, he just showed out. I mean, he made Kenny Pickett the 20th overall pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's what I was saying in our previous videos is like you got to look at the film for not just last year but the year before. Because injuries riddled so much, on some of these players, you got to take into account a little bit more perspective and see where they were. I mean, the year could have just been absolutely monster for Addison this year if he was healthy the whole time. Suffered a high ankle sprain in early October. and
Yeah.
that eventually ended his season in December. I mean, he played through it the whole time, but it just never got better.
Yep. It's a tough one to deal with.
So
Great pick.
1-6, we're gonna go ahead and jump in. Take the guy that Mike doesn't care for, but I think is going to get drafted to be a workhorse back. Soft hands. He just doesn't have that elite cut speed. Good all over the board at everything else. So Zach Charbonnet at the 1-6 to me seems like a nice solid 1 QB pick.
Zach Sharba, nah. This is easy for me. I'll take Zay Flowers right here. Boom.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. I will take, dude, watching this guy on film, and I get it. 5'10, buck 72. He's smaller, but he ran a good 40. He showed good strength at the point of the catch. And this dude can run routes. I mean, he played at BC, was wide open all the time, could never get hit. But when you're talking about a guy who, in his 4th year, is showing the capability to move safeties, move linebackers, move corners, manipulate zone to create his route and his space. That is upper level shit right there. This guy's going to be a good pro. It's just the size is what's going to hamper him a little bit. So you got to understand that too. But
he got so open that his quarterback underthrew him and he had time to come back to get it enough and still make catch and plays repeatedly throughout the years.
Bad. It was pretty bad. You could, I'll put it in the comments right now without looking it up. You're watching the video, comment right now. Who was Zay Flowers quarterback at BC? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
While you're doing that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now that part's all in there. We're good.
Yeah. It comes up at the end, goddammit.
Well, nobody watches all the way at the end half the time. Most of our viewers cut out halfway through the video.
Probably because I said Charbonnet.
Charbonnet. All right. So I think going here, we are looking at the start of the wherever they get drafted equals best draft capital and probably better pick. But for me, I think I'm going to have to go with a guy that we were talking about earlier. And holy buckets, we got to scroll for him. Some Tillman. A guy you got to go back and watch some film on and look at his previous years. The guy can ball. He is meant to be an alpha receiver. He just was injured this last year. Hyatt had good games, but this is the guy that probably is going to be the best out of those two for sure.
Yeah, this guy's got the prototypical NFL size for a wide receiver. He's fucking huge. And he's got good soft hands. Actually catches the ball. One of the few wide receivers in his class catches the ball with his hands rather than his body. We've both really skyrocketed up on Tillman. I'm excited to see where he ends up landing. Okay, so here's where it starts getting really weird because there's 4 quarterbacks that are supposed to be in here right now. So this is a major pain in the ass because I'm in a 1 quarterback league. And if I'm picking back here, I probably don't give a damn about a tight end at this point because I know how long it's going to take for him to get going. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go with A-Chain. I want
pretty
the big
on par with how you've been doing. Yeah.
I want the big playability of this guy. 4.32 speed. Let me check myself. 4.32 speed at the combine. And that was with him packing on. Like, this kid was just slamming Big Macs in the parking lot at Lucas Oil Stadium before the combine, before he went in there and weighed in. And he still went in and ran a 4.32. So, look, his play weight's probably going to be like 185 right now. He weighed in at 188. I get it. He's a smaller guy. And people are comparing him to Chris Johnson, Jamal Charles. That's great. But, let's just tone it down a little bit. Get out of Neverland, Peter Pan, and let's really pay attention to what this guy's going to do. Look, he's going to be a home run threat every time. You draft him this late in the first round, and you're already a contending team. That's why you're picking back here. And he could be the flex play that breaks you through week to week because he just puts up one big play, and you're getting your 15 points out of him on just that one play. This is kind of talent.
Or he starts to help really down the playoff push mid to late season. They starts playing more, gets off special teams.
Yeah, when he finds a little bit of a groove, finds his tempo in the offense, his fit where he's supposed to be at, kid could be dangerous.
So another guy that we've been talking about recently, Tank Bigsby here. Another guy that can get a 3-down workhorse type role. Good hands, definitely can run the ball, just needs a good fit. And I think he's going to be a great back. This year is going to be okay, but next year he should really build his value.
Yeah, agreed. I think that this last year at Auburn, he had a rough go with the offense he had there. I've heard a lot of comparisons to Cam Akers, and we all saw how that went. Imagine Cam Akers right now without the Achilles going off on him. I mean, he's high ranked as a dynasty
Yeah.
running back this year. And Bigsby has that same type of profile. So, he still produced on a bad offense, a struggling college last year in Auburn. I mean, let's be honest, they fucking struggled. And he still produced. So, and I think he's worth the pick here. I think he's got all the NFL talent in the world.
All right, you are up at 111.
Oh, this sucks because there's like a guy I really like, right? So, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to go a little off brand. I'll be fully honest with you. In 1QB leagues, most people probably don't know this, but I know Tony does. I'm very RB heavy. And in a class right here that is chock full of running backs, I would generally be picking running backs. Okay.
Like crazy.
But because I know there's so many other running backs in this draft, and right now, really, there's not anybody that stands out that I'm like, I really want to go get that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a guy that I like. Tony, you got me on him to start. Josh Downs.
Yeah.
This kid is going to come into the NFL, be a great slot player. He is fearless over the middle. He is smaller than hell, which might get him killed in the NFL. But before that happens, he's probably going to give you decent output as a slot guy, a good route runner that knows how to find space in tight space, which as a slot guy, that's something you really want to be able to do, is be able to get enough speed, enough quickness to get away from a strong safety, but enough strength and enough power in your routes to get away from a linebacker, push off underneath him, feel all that stuff, and have the fear or the fearlessness to go into the middle and catch those passes. This kid's a stud. I'm going to go ahead and pick him here because I believe this, to me, is where the wide receiver tier completely falls off.
Yes, I happen to agree. There's one more name that most people have in here, but I think for you and me, we are just so concerned with the cement hands that guy has that we're just going to wait a little bit longer on him.
Hashtag Hyatt.
All right. So to go back to these running backs here, I've got a guy here that this is where he's sitting in my rankings, usually about the 5th, 6th, 7th guy on the board. And for me, that's going to be Izzy Abanikanda.
Oh, I like it.
He's just a 4.4 speed at his pro day. He looked smooth. He looks good. There's some vision stuff that he can work on. But at a guy you're drafting at the 112 at a 1 QB league, you're just looking for some big plays here and there and some possibility that he's going to play.
Word. Okay, so we're in a 1 QB league. We're going to assume that, man, if I picked at the 101 and I got Bijan and now it's back around to the 201, my team probably fucking sucks. And I need the best talent I can get. So I'm going to take the guy that I think is going to end up in Houston, and that's going to be Bryce Young.
Nice.
All the talk out there right now is that CJ Stroud is going to go to Carolina and Bryce Young will end up going. Did you not put quarterbacks in here? And Bryce Young is going to end up going to Houston, is at least what I'm projecting to have happen. If it's the other way around, I'm taking CJ Stroud first. I want a piece of what the Houston Texans got going on. The Mecca Ryans there. They're going to bring in an offense that is Shanahan centric. And I know a lot of people are always like, well, they don't always take the offense with them and everything, but they take some version of the offense. Even Robert Saleh took some version of the offense with him. Mike McDaniel, of course, took his version of the offense with him to Miami. And DeMeco Ryan is going to do the same damn thing, his version of it. And I'll take the quarterback that is going to be a part of that, along with all the draft capital these guys have. They should be able to build a pretty solid foundation around Bryce Young.
Should be. I definitely see, out of watching videos now, like I could see what scouts are seeing in Bryce Young. His ability to keep his eyes down the field and still have some presence in the pocket. Just things that you want to see at the next level as they go in to guys that are going to be doing things faster. They're bigger, faster, stronger. So you will need him to be able to move and be aware of what's going on around him. And I think that's something that we've seen with some of these other guys. They just don't have that pocket presence and knowing what's going to happen. So they're going to get annihilated and it makes for a short career.
Oh, he's going to get annihilated. It's just like, man, just don't get landed on. If I said that right. Don't get smushed, bro.
Let's continue this running back trend. I'm going to go ahead and take Kendre Miller here. So if I'm team at the second round, I've got JSN and Kendre Miller. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm building a team. I probably have a piece or two. This is definitely starting to add to it. Kendre Miller, another one of those guys that could see great workload once he gets a role carved out. but it's going to take him going to a team probably third round, fourth round, and then having to work his way to be in that starter.
Definitely. I'm definitely upset you took him. You know I like Kendrick Miller.
Yeah.
I'm a Kendrick Miller guy this year. If he lands in a good spot, watch out, because it'll be wheels up for Kendrick Miller. He's got that kind of profile. If he ends up on a team that fits his running style, that's going to be the big thing, because he could either be wheels up or tits up, depending on where he lands. Because if he goes somewhere and the offensive line doesn't meld well with how he runs the football, he's screwed, because he runs how he runs, and he's not going to get trained to do anything different, I don't think. So it'll be interesting with him. But man, yeah, I got high hopes for that guy. Here comes the conundrum. I'm at 2-3, and it's a 1 QB, and I know that this quarterback is going to get either the number 1 overall or the number 2 overall draft capital, and so I'm going to take him, CJ Stroud. Now, if he goes to Carolina, it scares the living hell out of me, but they actually did well in free agency to be able to build around.
They did all right.
Yeah, I know they got rid of DJ Moore, but they brought in a big body with DJ Chark to help out. Terrace Marshall, which we hope, like, maybe he takes a 3-year lead.
We'll see.
Yeah, and he has shown the ability to have big playability, so who knows?
They also got Thielen.
Yep, and Thielen's going to be a great mentor and a good pillar for a young quarterback to be able to lean on in times when they need somebody to throw the ball to. They also brought in Miles Sanders, which, I mean, isn't the best thing in the world. But again, if I'm at the top of this draft and I'm getting into the second round in a 1 QB league, I'm assuming you don't have the QB spot locked up, right? Because there's 12 others, and so you're sitting at the bottom of it. So you're trying to take another stab at it. This is the time I would be taking the stab at these top end guys, especially if they're going to be number 1 and number 2 overall picks.
And that's where I was going with this, and so glad you didn't go here. And that's where I'm going to take A-Rich. Yeah. Pair it up with Gibbs. Now you've got a hopefully electric quarterback, an electric running back, and hopefully that can jumpstart your team to have some weeks to win. So you get close to this 1-6 and start climbing up to the 1-8 somewhere in there next year.
Yeah, those guys reach their potential, and you've got them paired together like that. You're talking about week winners. Each one of them just win you the week on their own. I really like that. It's a hell of a good stack there. Okay, well, man, it is getting slim pickings down in here. So
now it's gonna get so ugly.
Yeah, I'm actually. So look, you're gonna have to scroll down a little bit for this guy, I think, because we still have not actually seen Sean Tucker's pro day, and as much as I like him, the whole thing has been weird as all hell. So go down there and find me some Chase Brown.
Oh
yeah, buddy, I like me some 5'10", 209, 3-down workload. He played 5 years at Illinois, but he wasn't like getting worked over for that time. It was just when he finally got his fucking chance, the kid came out and just blew it up. 4.43 40 at the combine. He's shown he can take the workload. He's shown he has good vision. He's got the quicks. He's a smaller guy, right? So at 5'10", 209, he's like built like a little brick shit house. And he's gonna be able to be viable in the NFL. He carried the load for Illinois. And I think he can go ahead and he'll hop into a committee. I think he's a decent running back to get out there because of what he can bring. He's so versatile and we all know you're not getting 3-down workload backs anymore, especially in the fucking middle of the second round of a rookie draft. So you're going after those guys that when they get into a committee, are there going to be times when they are limited and brought off the field? And I don't think Chase Brown's one of those guys. I think they can bring him out first down, second down, third down, and he's just working in on hot hand type stuff.
So 2-6 is really, I think, a great spot for this player to be coming off. And that's going to be Jalen Hyatt. You're going to get some drops. He's probably going to cause some turnovers because he's going to go for the ball and it's going to end up in the DB's hands. But he's also going to get you some big play, home run receptions and make your week.
He concerns the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
He really does.
If you look at a lot of his film, he's not winning on talent. He's winning on scheme and speed.
Yeah. Agreed. I'd have to agree with that. Okay, this is going to be a tough one because I really have no idea what the hell way to go. So the running backs that are left, look, I have to see Sean Tucker official times. I need to see an official 40 time. I need to see these things go because he does jump off on the film. But if he's just jumping off the film, and that's because all you're getting to see is the little bit of shit that somebody highlighted, and it's hard to tell on film how well he's actually playing. I need to see this kid's metrics. If he comes out and tests like we think he's going to, then I'm not taking Chase Brown. I took Chase Brown, I'm taking Sean Tucker. Chase Brown falls down a little bit, but I can't take Sean Tucker right now because I don't know. And I can't take Tyjae Spears because the dude ran way too fucking slow. Not going to have that. I can't
the tiny bowling ball.
Yeah, I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come a little off brand. I've been a Michael Mayer guy for quite a while, but being a one QB league and being that you need to get guys who are going to be more explosive rather than the
Bastard.
continual like that. I'm
You're
just
such a
gonna, every day I'm
bastard.
going to go out and plot out 10. I'm going to take Dalton Kincaid right here because Michael Mayer may be the guy that goes out every week and puts you up 10, but Dalton Kincaid could be the guy that goes out every week and wins you your week.
Yep.
This kid could be Travis Kelce.
Look at what you're stacking here. 1-7-2-7. If you're the fringe playoff team, you now have Zay Flowers and Kincaid. These are some point getters.
Yeah, and these guys could start. Like, it's tough to say this, especially about an undersized wide receiver that we don't really know where the hell he's going to get drafted at, and about a first-year tight end that's coming off of a back injury that screwed him all the hell up.
He is cleared, though.
Yeah, great, you're cleared, but that's still, you haven't been doing anything football, and now you're about to go into the NFL. So, like, there are question marks here, but the upside with these guys, especially a guy like Kincaid, who isn't just like, I'm a big old plotting badass tight end. I went to Alabama and everybody lauded over me. No, he went somewhere and he refined his skill. And if you watch him on film from year one until his third year where he came out,
yep.
Or no, wait, he played 4 years.
He played all four.
Okay, so his fourth year when he finally comes out now, and you can see the progression on film year to year of him learning. And here's a big thing, guys. If you're watching college tape and you see a receiver literally doing little things, hip movement, one step, one other way, keeping his eyes pointed one way and his body's going the other way, what he's doing is he's manipulating defensive players to open up the zones, to back off man coverage, to create the holes that he wants to sit down in so his quarterback can throw him the football. And when players are doing that already in their junior and senior years in college, they're going to translate that to the NFL. Yes, it gets more complicated, of course, but it's going to carry over. And that is a huge, huge factor in a guy having early success.
I think for Kincaid, he's going to be a guy that they can run into an extended role. Like they can put him out into slot, break him away from the line, and get him some looks. And I think that's going to be kind of his first year deal until he learns to block just a little bit better. And that's why I think Mayer might have a little more draft capitals because he's more of a complete tight end. But the guy that I'm going to choose right here is going to be Roschon. Sticking with that heavy RB strategy, looking for somebody that's going to be able to take a probably good rushing workload and start carving a spot on a committee back. I think that's somebody that Roschon fits. Great runner, good power. Just got overtaken by Bijan.
Yeah, Mayer's going to get taken somewhere in here, I would imagine, but I think this is going to be probably running back heavy on the last three of these guys right here. Here's a spot where even if I don't know what the hell Sean Tucker's going to run, I'll take him.
Yeah, interesting.
5'9", 207. He's shifty as all hell, but he needs refining. He's not like a typical, Sleeper doesn't update their shit all the time. He's not like, he doesn't have the best vision, right? He doesn't. He cuts too much sometimes, gets himself in trouble when if all he did was look another way, not make the cut, continue on his way. So he needs work in vision, but the raw talent is there. He's got decent enough hands to be able to play in the NFL. And his unofficial 40 time, his little Twitter time, whatever it was a 4.39 to a 4.44, right? Like they give it a 0.5 basis. So we'll see what that really comes out to be on the 24th, because that would definitely move him up my board.
So I think the slide for Michael Mayer has come far enough. I definitely, before I get into some more of these running backs, feel more comfortable taking Mayer and seeing that he could end up day one starting and working his way into the passing game more, where he can block right away.
That's Team 10 just stealing right there.
Yeah.
That's all it is, just stealing.
Let the value fall down to you.
Yeah, you finished third, and you're going to walk out of the rookie draft with Bigsby and Mayer. Wow, we screwed up, I think. All right, let's keep this going on running backs that I don't really know what else to say about them except that they're pretty decent guys. We're going to go with Zach Evans over Tyjae Spears. I like Zach Evans. This guy is like committee back. Like when you're talking, this college guy is going to be a committee running back. This dude is the poster child. He is going to be a committee running back somewhere, but he has the capabilities of, I see more Chris Johnson in Zach Evans than I do Devin Achane. He has explosive playmaking ability. He runs a little bit high, but he's a long strider, and he eats up ground like a mother trucker. This guy is going to come into an NFL team, be a part of a committee, and hopefully find himself a little bit of a niche where you can rely on a few injuries here, maybe have this guy come in, I don't know, 2, 3 times a year and be semi-productive for you, unless he lands himself into a continual workload.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of research on Evans. I think the tier right there of Brown, Tucker, Evans kind of sits in that gray area of, man, I just need to see some capital to really figure out where I want to put those guys.
Yeah.
But it's they're I feel comfortable drafting him in this range, but just not anywhere where I'm like, yes, I got that guy.
Yeah, one thing they definitely all have in common, other than pass pro, they're all not very good at pass protection. But as far as being able to be out on the field for first, second, and third down, they have the skill set to do that. So it'll be interesting to, like you're saying, it'll be interesting to see where they end up at and being able to predict how they're going to get used. That will decide where a lot of these guys are going to start falling in drafts and
Yeah.
who's going over who and whatnot.
All right.
Wrap this up.
Last guy on the board here, I think, is a guy that's going to see a lot of hype come draft day. A lot of guys that'll shoot up boards on people's draft rookie boards because he's a guy that can catch balls on the outside, on the inside. He's aggressive. Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. Jaden Reed's out of Michigan State, 6 foot, 190. So he's got good size, good weight, good in the route running, but where he shines is he's very much like Josh Downs. He's an aggressor for the ball. Doesn't matter where the ball's placed. He's going to track it. He's going to find it. When he gets his hands on it, it's his.
Yeah, I'm getting a little into some Jaden Reed tape, and I'm starting to understand where the hype's coming from. At first, I didn't, of course, but it doesn't take long. Put on tape for about 5 minutes. Watch this kid. He's exciting. Like Tony says, he is aggressive in catching the ball. It's been a big trend in the wide receivers this year, at least when we've been talking about them, is a lot of these guys catch the ball with their body, not their hands, which when you go to the NFL, man, that's going to be a big knock. You're going to continually have to try to learn not to catch the ball with your body. And Jaden Reed is one that does that. He's a definite hands catch kind of guy.
All right. So that is our first 1 QB PPR.
First, you said it like we're going to do more.
No, that's probably going to be our only one. But
nah, we'll have to get another one out there. Come on, at least.
Oh, this is our first before the draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to try to squeeze another one in this next week.
No, probably not. Probably are going to try to get another super flex one in right before, yeah.
Oh yeah. But anything that's really kind of surprising you, the big difference between the first or 1 QB and a super flex besides the 3 quarterbacks dropping?
Yeah, I mean, you can see kind of like the switch in theory sometimes. Look, if I'm in a 1 QB, I'm definitely kind of aiming a little bit more towards wide receivers because they carry value for longer. And if you're picking up early in your drafts, or I'm sorry, if you're picking earlier in your drafts and you probably don't have a strong team, you don't want to pile on rookie running backs that are going to just age out by the time you're even competitive anyway. But your wide receivers will be hitting their prime, and then that would be when you're getting your running back. So that kind of affects a little bit. But for the most part, this is pretty mundane. Pre-draft, we don't know where anybody's going, picking off names.
I think, like you're saying, super flex, you're relying on your second quarterback to pick up some of that point value weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Where this, you've got to rely on those position players. You're likely dealing with less flex players, so your players that you're putting out there in these positions needs to score. That's why we went like Kincaid over Mayer.
Yeah, and that's just all projected value. Like, I just feel like Kincaid will draw more targets than Mayer will.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as a rookie and how they set up, Kincaid's going to end up being lined up on the outside on passing downs, and Mayer's he's going to be out there more, but I don't think he's going to be like a huge piece to the passing game where he'll match Kincaid's target level.
Right.
Hell yeah. It was another good show. 1 QB. That's always kind of tough to go through, especially when you're always doing super flex stuff. So fun to see how those always pan out. And as always, make sure to hit the like if you like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the all notifications so you get everything we're putting out there. And that's about it. You got any parting words, Tank?
I know that we're going to be covering our rookie draft for our T1A League live the Sunday after the draft, so the 29th.
Yep. So, yeah, you could chime in on that. Come check it out. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute shit show if you've been following along with some of the trade videos we've done. We'll have power ranking videos coming out on all that kind of stuff too. It's going to be a fun year because we have such a mix of experienced dynasty players with brand new dynasty players, in the middle guys, a bunch of people who've just been doing redraft. So,
Yeah.
and if you've been in dynasty leagues, you know how crazy that shit can get when people are learning, and we've
Oh,
already
yeah.
seen some of it. So,
Yep.
the rookie draft should be a
Absolutely.
damn good time. Should be a good time. So, yeah, as always, be like water, my friends, and peace out.